Dragon Army Productions presents Dragon Talk with Dracky the Little Dragon.
Why, hello again, everybody. Dracky the Little Dragon here with yet another Dragon Talk for you. Or is it for the guy with the hair? I know he keeps popping up randomly. So, yes, welcome indeed. This is Dragon Talk where I talk about anything and everything, whether I want to talk about it or not, because if I don't talk about it, then who will? Today on Dragon Talk, we are going to be talking about where I'm from, especially for you new members, or new subscribers, new viewers. I might have done something like this before in the past, long time ago, but I'm doing it again fresh. So I was born in Baytown, Texas. So yes, I'm a Texan out of my home state, but there you have it. Lived in Texas for to about the age of 5, roughly, maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's about right. Then me and my parents moved to New Mexico, Alamogordo, where literally where we stayed for till about 10, maybe 9. But yeah, anyways, that's where the hellish part of my life actually started. I will get into that life story another day, maybe. It, yeah. Actually, some details of that story may not be appropriate for YouTube, so I will probably not be doing that. Anyways, I went through hell for the bulk of my childhood. Let's just leave it at that. A lot of people have gone through a bunch of shit in their lives, but that's neither here nor there. Excuse my French. Sorry, I try to keep it as PG as possible. After New Mexico, it was Illinois only in the Redstone Valley region. My stepdad actually had a trucking job at that point with a trucking company called Dick Simon. That's no longer around. It actually went under. Oh God, not. I forget when it went under, but it was. It was probably went under about 2012, maybe. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But anyways, that trucking company went under. It's no longer around. Their mascot was actually a skunk. So, anyways, lived in Illinois through my formative years, to about the age of 17. Yeah, about 17, where when I received a recruitment letter from the army, and I called my mother, and as soon as I got it, it was like, "Mom, do you know what I just got in the mail? Army recruitment letter from the army." And that was all she wrote, and off the army I went. Did basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I served in the reserves at first, drilling in Terre Haute, Indiana. Then I went active duty. My MOS changed from uh, mil- military police to a Mike trucker. So I did my AIT in, lo and behold, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. After that, it was off to Germany, Mannheim, Germany. where I stayed for, let's see, '07 to January January '09. So altogether, I served a good 4.5 years, give or take, between reserves and active duty. Yes, I was deployed to to Iraq. Uh, we flew into Kuwait, and then it was Al Taqaddam post, and then it was Al Assad after that. I actually broke down mentally while I was over there, and they ported me back to Kuwait to get tested and rest recover, and it was actually deemed that I was unfit for service after that, and they flew me back to Germany, back to the rear detachment, and I got out January 8th of 2009 and was home by January 9th. Back to Illinois, where I stayed for till two, mid 2010s, roughly, where I packed up everything into my Chevy S10 and moved to back to Almagar, New Mexico, from 2010 to 2012. At that point, I ended up back in Illinois. Yes, Illinois, the town of Olney was a black hole that would not let me go for the longest time. And I stayed in Illinois for a good while till I got a door-to-door sales job with the traveling door-to-door sales company selling a all-purpose, all natural biodegradable cleaner, and ended up in North Dakota, Fargo, where I stayed for 2-3 years. My Then my mother got into a car wreck, which in 2014, where I ended up back in Illinois. And from Illinois, there I ended up in Arkansas for a time, Fort Smith, where I worked at a chicken plant of all places. Stayed there for a couple years. Moved to Ada, Oklahoma for a month. Then it was from there it was to Texas, San Antonio, where I stayed for from 2016 till I want to say 2019, 2018, 2019. No, wait, I was back in North Dakota at that point. Yeah, it would have been 2018, and then it was back to North Dakota. And from North Dakota, I stayed in North Dakota in a uh, small town just outside of Wapaton, just under an hour south of Fargo. For- And then it was Ligerwood, North Dakota, which was not far from Wapaton, about 7 miles, give or take. And then from there, ended up getting engaged to a man named Connor. And lo and behold, he turned out to be an abusive alcoholic. and his parents ended up having to rescue me and put me up for a month until I got, well, this place. So yes, I've been all over the place, been homeless at times. I was actually homeless in my second time in Texas for a short amount of time, a couple times. So yeah, that is pretty much everywhere I've been and lived up to Apopka, Florida here, where I don't plan on moving for unless I absolutely positively have to. I'm actually stable now. I love my little place. Love my office here or studio. Yes, I'm wearing my copper fit gloves today. My hands are a bit stiff and tender. I also wearing them because I had to go to the post office to mail off my spare phone to my parents because their phone company screwed them over and they ended up without a phone. Well, they ended up getting one line to tide them over until I got them the line I set up for them. So now they got a phone between the two, between mom and dad, both have a phone now. I actually had to go to the post office this morning to ship it off, but I, I had a fun little ride on the mid gear setting of the electric scooter top, which on mid it tops out at 32 mile an hour, and on high it tops out at 40. So I kept it on mid and cruised down the horse and bike trails through the back way of the streets around here, which was actually quite fun and relaxing. Nice smooth ride. It was a nice day for it. So, anyways, I want to bid you guys a fond farewell, and this is Dracky the Little Dragon signing off for now. Talk at you guys later.
Bye, Barbie. Da 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 da.